Okay, so I got to tell you about something that happened this morning. And it was like I was meditating. I didn't even think I was in a meditative state. That's always a little difficult for me. And I felt like the bedroom door just flew open, and in slid an Adirondack chair with my mother-in-law sitting in it. And my mother-in-law passed some time ago. She was a lovely woman.
Oh, good.
And she didn't look exactly like she looked. She looked healthier, more robust, a little bit younger, but still gray hair. And she just sat there like maybe she was sitting at the beach, and maybe I just hopped her in for a minute or something to see, like she was telling me that she was close by or that she was there or something. I don't think she'd ever been to a beach in her life. Anyway, it was odd. And this whole past week has been odd because I have slipped into more of I'll call it meditative state, because it's like the boundaries on my body kind of go away.
Mm-hmm.
Without, when I'm not working as hard at it as I usually do.
Yeah.
It's really, I don't know, it's fun.
So that's not, you've never had that experience before like this?
No. No. So I was throwing it out to you just in case you picked up on it.
When it happens, are you at least in a relaxed state? Or
yeah, I was laying on the floor like I do in the mornings, getting into it after I've done some exercises, and then just being grateful and trying to just watch my breath so that maybe I can quit, not be thinking.
I think it's wonderful. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think you're reaching a different level where your ego's not involved.
Mm-hmm. I certainly hope so. I am so excited about anything that I can get. That, I feel like we're all just growing in leaps and bounds spiritually, if that's what our intention is,
Yeah.
And so it feels good, and it feels good to share it with someone who
gets it. Yeah.
Who gets it. Yeah. About how exciting that can be.
Yesterday I was talking with a group of spiritual soul sisters, and one of them was talking about how, when we're out working in the world for other people, it's this low level misery every day, this routine. And then she said, she stepped out of that and was focusing on her awakening process. And she said, and you think about those highs you get when something like that happens, like something you just described, where something new happens, like a new way of seeing things or meditating, or just something that really exalts you.
Right.
But then there's the depths of the opposite. And I was surprised to hear that, because I don't talk about that a whole lot, of those peaks and valleys, because they seem so extreme, like to the point where when I had my first real awakening in 2018, I thought I might be having a late life manic episode. I was so exhilarated and exalted. But then you kind of come down from that, and you maintain a certain level, which for me has always been better than anything I've ever been before. And sometimes it dips down, and we've talked about that, where it's like, come on, something needs to happen. Something, like, come on, show me something, give me something new. And it's hard. It's hard to balance that, right?
Yeah, it is, because it, but I will say that when it gets to the point, like you say, where you're saying, come on, give me something here. Generally you'll get something, but it's not always exactly what you think it should have been.
It never is what you think it is.
Yeah. Like, I'd like to orchestrate what's going on right now a little bit more, but no one's asking me to do so. Uh, and so you're right. Sometimes I'll say one thing. I think we're good, faithful light beings
Yes.
because we come back. We come back to what we know, what we truly believed is, and we come back to it, no matter if we're getting big proof or little proof.
Right.
We still come back because it's better than the alternative.
True.
It's better than sitting in the fear that a lot of people are sitting in right now.
Yeah, and I will, true confessions, I'm a little jealous that you had that because I, you know, Sunday I sat in some shit all day.
Really?
And I chose to sit in my shit all day. And it stunk. Nobody wanted to be around me. I don't blame them. And I sat in that and I looked for jobs.
That's your go-to. That's your go-to.
And I went through 37 pages of jobs until I was like, and every single one made me sick to my stomach. I'm like, I could do that, but the thought of it was just like, oh, and it was like, I needed to sit in that shit all day. And it's been a while since I've spent a whole day in it,
Will you tell me this? When you were through with that, did you feel like you had released anything?
Well, it wasn't until the next day, which was yesterday,
Uh-huh.
that I felt I kind of started the morning in it, and then I got outside myself and did some things I did not want to do that involved other people. And so that helped me get outside myself. And so, yeah, it does feel like I've released something. And then I got real mindful of the full moon tomorrow or today.
Today.
Tonight, yeah. And how that's about releasing what no longer serves you. And then, I reflected on this month of December, and I'm really good at, like, in the moment, I'm like, everything's good. I'm good. There's a lot going on around me, I'll say, like other people are struggling. But by the end of the month, I'm like, oh, I look back at everything that happened around me and I'm like, oh yeah, that kind of affected me. There was a cumulative effect. So yeah, I'm kind of babbling now.
Well, it's interesting though, because I was sitting here thinking, I have a hard time going back over a month because it's like, I don't remember what happened this month. And maybe that's good. Maybe that's okay. Maybe that's being in the moment. I don't know. But I can look at different things and say, well, this started as a problem and then it ended up fine. And this was not a problem. This was fun because this turned out well. And then I can also see where there's something that hasn't been solved yet too, that is important to me. But I don't know, I must be in a pretty good place right now, because right now it feels like whatever, it's a hologram.
Right.
If I was doing my job, I'd be fixing it,
Right. Everything's an illusion. And, I used to, when I started to become aware of my thoughts, I was like floored at the amount of time I spent in the past. I was just like, if somebody would have asked me, I'd be like, yeah, no, I don't think about the past that much. But when I really broke my thoughts down, I was like, oh, I live in the past. Everything I do today is rooted. I mean, it was so unbelievable to me. And so I typically don't think about the past, because I've worked real hard at that. But when I am in a shitty place, literally, and, I'm thinking, okay, what's going on? Why, what is happening? That's why I went back over the month. It's not something I want to do at all. If I catch myself during the day thinking about the past, I kind of sit with that and go, okay, what do I need to, what cycle do I need to complete with that thought to move on, because I don't want to stay there.
And maybe you could initiate a trigger or something that automatically happens the minute you get to the point where you are looking for jobs. Because that's what happens to you when your ego jumps in and said, you're not doing your share around here. You're blah, blah, blah. Right?
You're a piece of shit. Not only are you sitting in it, you're a piece of it.
Right. And so perhaps there's some way that you can flag that when you start doing it, so that there's, whether you say, the minute that happens, I have to go outdoors, no matter what the weather, and walk clear around the block or something. Give yourself a job you have to do, and then you can come back in and wallow if you still feel like it.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you.
Yeah. It's just getting past that habit,
right,
of going ahead and wallowing. I bet you used to wallow for a lot longer than a day.
Oh yeah, but it's been a while since I've wallowed that long, even.
Right.
But yeah, it used to be weeks. Come on.
So you always know that you're coming around. Everything's getting better. It's not as strong, it's your ego. Your ego's kind of like the dark right now. It's like pulling out all the stops.
It is. It is.
So it's like, so what you do is you trick it back. You say, okay, we'll go down this road here in just a minute. I got to go out and do something. I'll go shovel the walks or something that takes some physical energy.
Yeah, and that's important, that physical movement, energy.
Yeah, or like you say, doing something for somebody else.
Yeah.
When you're assisting someone else, it's a big deal, because that makes your heart big again.
Right.
And kind of smothers the ego a little bit.
Right.
And you get into gratitude.
And that's the best remedy for just about anything, I've decided.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They say that's the way that you truly manifest, is with gratitude, because the more you're grateful for, the more comes in for you to be grateful for.
Absolutely. Let's draw a card.
Okay.
I got the map again because
good.
It just keeps beckoning me. The
That's good. And your colors, your necklaces make me think of the map when you said the map too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got my Native American garb on today because it's the anniversary of the massacre at Wounded Knee.
I saw that on the
it's a little tribute.
Facebook.
What is the message that the collective needs to hear today for their highest good? I got Field of Dreams in reverse.
Okay, that's a 3, or 21 equals 3. So we're talking about manifestation, and it's reversed. So maybe it's taking a little longer to manifest.
It's just because my energy is infused in the cards. It's my poopiness. You can tell when I'm hanging out with the kids because I say poop a lot. All you have to do is say the word poop to like a 5-year-old boy, and that you got him for life. Sorry.
Oh, I love that.
Okay, Field of Dreams. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are always engaging the vast field of pure potential. Well, mine's really fertilized right now. I'm sorry. Okay, so now the poop jokes are coming.
No, and I love it. And I have to say something about you having a fire in the snow for your neighbor kids. I think there's what you're about. That's what you're about. That's just so beautiful. And I love that they loved it so much.
That was a crazy night. I got to tell you, we had so much snow and sleet and wind, and I'm like, there's a fire. Of course, I
That
can
is,
make a fire.
yeah.
All right, so back to Field of Dreams in reverse. Are your dreams your own, or are they really someone else's? Have you chased money, possessions, or prestige? Oof. Have you placed security above fulfillment? Has approval seeking played a major role in your motivation to succeed? This is the time for you to assess the validity of your dreams, your talents, and your willingness to be a channel for inspiration and creativity. Don't be afraid to enter the field of dreams, for you can always clear the ground for new and better things to grow. Nature has a way of self-correcting if you're willing to act with authenticity. The power to create is inside of you. Wow.
So that was the protection message.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't you think that that's what people are letting go of right now? You know, people have done a whole lot in the name of security, feeling like someone else is going to protect them.
Yeah.
So people also do what they're told they're supposed to do to be accepted into society and to be a good person. And it's like all these coats of bullshit. I love your poopy theme today. Um, are I see people walking and they're dropping these coats off and coming into, oh, this is who I am. You know, I am Christ within this body, and I came here to usher in peace. I came here to do this, to do that.
Mhm.
What a beautiful card.
Yeah. And I just, I'll put a screenshot of it up because it is just gorgeous.
Yes, it is.
All the potential, right?
Absolutely.
I just love
Yeah,
it.
and they are being. They
Yes,
aren't doing, they are being,
right.
right? That keeps us very, very controllable when we are constantly doing, running, busy, worried.
And it's interesting, the first line really brought me to my knees. Are your dreams your own, or are they really someone else's?
Yeah.
And I think women are really good at that. Um, living other people's dreams, their kids, their spouse. And I was an expert at it. And then I would get a resentment, like, I'm living your life, not mine. And I'd get mad, like, at the other person, like it was their fault. And they'd be like, what, And I remember my dad, when he was dying, one of the last things he said to me was, you need to start living your own life and quit living everybody else's.
Wow.
And my dad wasn't, I mean, he said a lot of things to me, but nothing ever that full of wisdom, And it was just, it really startled me, and it just rings in my ears now. And that's really hard for me to do, is find my own identity and dream my own dreams, right? I always kind of went wherever the wind took me and thought that was a good plan.
Yeah, and the wind was taking you in areas that you had been told were the right areas to be acceptable in society and to make the right amount of money and to be self-sufficient. And in our defense, all of our defense, we've gone through lifetime after lifetime of living the dreams we were told we were supposed to live. And in older lifetimes, I bet we followed the religious precedent to the T with no thought about what we wanted because we were not worthy. Now that kind of thing, lifetime after lifetime, gives you a lot to unload.
Yeah.
in this lifetime, and we've got that's why we've got so much help with it. That's why we don't have to experience every single thing. We can simply say, I am done with that poop. I am done. I am flushing it. It is time for me, because I am this Christ inside of this body. And it's time to embody more of that, because that's who I truly am.
I like it.
Oh, I love it. Me too. Me too.
Yeah, this is beautiful. So are you ready to take us to our field of dreams?
I don't know, our field of dreams. I keep thinking about little poopy trail.
But it's fertile, that's good.
It's fertile. You are right. You are right.
Wallow in that shit, but then use it as fertilizer and create your dream.
I love that. That was so good, Marianne. I love it. Okay, well, let's do an activation here. Let's set this idea rolling so that people understand that it is accessible. What are you laughing about? What did I say?
I just can't stop the poop thoughts.
I know.
So we really need to move this over to something better here. So,
well, I don't know. I don't think it's so bad. So let's take a deep breath. Spirit has an amazing sense of humor, and I want everybody to realize that, to understand that. And we're going to see some of that sense of humor today. So take another deep breath. See the Christ light that is glowing within you 24/7. See it get bigger and bigger and just expand out to where it just saturates Mother Earth and all her inhabitants. That's what you do all the time. And then take another deep breath and see your heart light. See your heart light coming out, riding on the back of this golden white Christ light, spreading. Okay, so now let's create an orb for ourselves. Let's create an orb. Okay, and we're looking out. We are looking out from where we're at, and we do see a field. We see a field right in front of us, and this is our field. And we can call that field our life. And this lifetime's very, very, very different than any lifetime we have ever had. So look out, and the fields, we're getting ready to plow the fields, but first we are going to fertilize the fields. And as we fly over these fields or walk through these fields, we are, we are very grounded, but we've also got a tube going from our tailbone into Mother Earth, where we can let go of all the shadow energy that we're hanging on to, all the heavy energy. So as we walk through these fields or fly over these fields, we are letting go of all the old teachings, all the old beliefs, all the old dogma that we came in here to experience. No one did anything bad to us. We came in here to experience this. The whole point was not to hang on to it. So now we're going to take the opportunity. We've got so much light coming into this planet and into our bodies that it is time to release it. So we are releasing all of those old habits, beliefs, thoughts, and they're going down the tube, and they are indeed they are being transmuted into the Christ light, and that is the fertilizer that we are fertilizing our field with. And so now I want you to take another deep breath and see your heart flower come forth. And as it comes forth from your heart, you're going to see the entire parameter of your field lined in these beautiful flowers, your heart flower. And the field is turning green. It's beginning to bloom. It's getting taller and taller, and you can see just a breeze blowing through it. And it's just like, it's so beautiful when you see the blades of grass or wheat or stories. Oh my gosh, there's all kinds of stories going through there, and there's opportunities. And they're just bending and raising and like waves in the wind. And so you sit back and you're looking now at your field, and that is your field of dreams. And when you look at your field right now, you are being given a scene of what is yours. Something so beautiful, something just simply speaks to your heart. And you know that it is truth. And this is what you can have, what you can be, what you can experience. Is this amazing paradise. Okay, and surrounding your field right now are all these angels and entities, and they've all got a glass or a cup, and they are toasting you. They are toasting you for a job well done. It's a celebration. It is a true celebration because you have reclaimed your fields. And this is permanent. This is solid in your heart. This cannot be taken away from you. All you have to do is come back to this space if you feel a little stumble, and know that this is the truth. This is truth. Take another deep breath. Release it. Put your hands on your heart. Knowing that you never lose this. And that it is truly done. By the power of three, a perfect Trinity, it is done. It is done. It is done.
And so it is.
Namaste.